Hi, fellow Africans. Let us look on how can young people secure a better future for Africa. We have talked about the problem facing Africa, but who can solve this problem? Who will help her to solve this problem? None of them will help us to make sure that Africa is going forward. So all these responsibilities are in the shoulder of Africans. So today I'm going to look on how young people can have the impact or can create the better future for Africa. We have seen the young people of independence fighter Nkrumah, Nyerere. At their youngest age, they have done great things. So with 70% of Africa's population now under the age of 30, we as a continent are represented with a great opportunity and possibly a great challenge. Young Africans today are taking action that are not only have an immediate impact, but we also determine the future of the continent for decades to come. Never has there been such weighty responsibility on the shoulder of young people. Never has there been the influence in the hand of young people like the influence they carry now. But for Africa to leap the dividends she has longed for, it's up to our generation to make sure that influence is channeled correctly and directed toward relevant issues that affect not only ourselves but generation after us. This can be achieved if we come together as young people and begin to address the challenges before us as a continent. The role of African youth is drastically changing, but so has some of the challenges we face, such as employment or employability and entrepreneurship opportunity and so on. The strength of any society is within the strength and the resolve of its youth. What investment are young people making in our continent today? This is the question. There is no problem with us engaging in the disclosure of global level, but I feel it is important for us to exert more of our time and energy on the issue that are affecting our continent and our people. I believe if we as the youth don't take ownership and responsibility for our problems and the challenges, we run the risk of allowing other nations like we have seen China, US, now we have seen Russia is coming, and the other organizations and institutes to do so on their terms. We have seen we got maybe sometimes even our leaders taking debt from from the richest countries, but because we young people we didn't take our responsibilities. My question to my fellow young African is, are we creating a future in which generation after us can be confident? A lot has been said about Africa and its lays in the past few years. For this to be true, I believe it requires its people to also raise and drive the agenda, not waiting for instruction or direction from other nations. We as Africans, we are not supposed to wait other civilizations to tell us what to do, what good things to do for us. We must take action now. We young people, we Africans, we know our challenges. We have no power in our continent. We must feed ourselves. So this is a challenge. Don't wait from the people from West to make sure that they can tell you how to build your employment opportunities, how to create agricultural cultivation and so on. So it's our time. If this doesn't happen, Africa may still laze, but only for those with agenda for the continent. This then beg me the question of fellow young Africans: what is our agenda and what are we doing to shape that agenda? Africa, we have a lot of agendas. We have lot of dreams, but if we can't come together as Africans, this agenda will not be achieved. Africa is divided in terms of language. We have Francophone, Anglophone, and so on. We young people, we are not communicating within ourselves. It is difficult for the people of South Africa to communicate with the people of Senegal, because even the language they are speaking, they are different. There are some guys who speak French, and the others speak Portuguese, and the others speak English. So this divides us. It is difficult for us to communicate. With regard to employability, according to the African Development Bank report, by 2050, Africa will be home of 38 of the 40 youngest countries in the world. The media population under 25 years of age. This will result in an estimated 10 to 12 million new people join the labor force each year. These statistics clearly indicate that a considerable amount of investment must go into human development to unlock a demographic dividend. What innovation policies and programs we do as young people? What do make sure that this happening and that will grow growth with not result in a demographic time bomb for Africa? With the first industrial revolution upon us and the rate at which technology is advancing, it is critical that we have a sufficiently educated and skilled workforce to be able to drive Africa in this direction. There is currently a mismatch between industrial demand and education curriculum. Education institutions need to update their curriculum to align with the direction in which the world and Africa are going. If we ignore this, our young people will have irrelevant qualification that the continent will be unable to benefit from. It is worrying to note that the rate at which young educated Africans are living in the seek more opportunity abroad. The grass is not always greener on the other side. However, as leaders of other nations are also facing demographic challenges and therefore not prioritizing immigrants. If our education institutions can include entrepreneurship as a mandatory subject at all levels of education, more young people will be better equipped to create jobs and address the issue of high unemployment. I'm strong advocate for a local solution to local challenges, but for this to happen, we need to encourage and cultivate innovation among our youth. It is encouraging to note that there are pockets of this already taking place across the continent, where we can see uptake in the use of locally designed technology. More of this need to happen across the board, covering the different sector of our economies, as African still lag behind the rest of the world when it comes to introduction disruptive technology. Human development is about creating opportunity and building a person's ability to innovate and be entrepreneur. Significant investment need to go toward this. With the growth of the continent, it is only makes sense for us to industrialize in order to be less relevant on impact of product for consumption from outside of the continent. According to the African Development Economy, Africa's growing population is expected to generate a rise of consumer spending from 680 billion US dollar in 2008 to 2.2 trillion US dollar in 2030. This increased spending has the potential to lead greater prosperity. The growth in Africa's population presents a huge opportunity for entrepreneur innovation and the idea to be implemented. It does, however, require strong political will to enable the right environment to be created to encourage this idea and for entrepreneurs to be supported in their different stages of growth, from startup, early stage, and the growth stage right through to becoming larger corporation. So fellow Africans, I think you have listened this and you have understand that the rule of development is the end of young Africa. So let us wake up, young people. Let us work hard so as to make sure that we create a better future for Africa. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share our video. This is Life Updates.